The eerie silence is broken only by the sound of breathing and scurrying small feet as they run around, hidden in the dark room. Then a glimmer of light is seen for a moment, just before a sharp blade slices skin to the sound of giggling. This is the work of Chucky, the possessed doll. Child's Play was released in 1988 and became one of the most loved horror movies of the era. Not only did it bring to life the idea of killer dolls, but also a boost to the slasher genre that continues to be well liked today. Although Chucky the murderous doll from the Child's Play franchise isn't based on a real person, he is said to be inspired by a genuine story. What story could be so haunting that it brought about the idea of a potty-mouthed possessed doll, you might ask? Well, the answer to that is simple, and its name is Robert. But while Chucky was only one of numerous mass-produced good guy dolls, Robert the doll was a one-of-a-kind toy. Apparently, while travelling in Germany, Robert Eugene Otto's grandfather came across the doll and decided it would be the perfect gift for his birthday. Otto fell in love with it so much that he decided to name it after himself, and from that day on, go by his middle name Eugene, or Gene for short. Otto was described as having an unhealthy attachment to the doll that he carried around and spoke about as if it was a real person and not a toy. But was Robert the doll possessed, or is it all a myth? It is said that little Otto started to blame the doll for things that happened around him, like broken toys, items moving that shouldn't be touched, amongst other things. Now, you could easily sum this up as the overactive imagination of a child and a way to get out of trouble. But strangely, adults started to see strange things occurring too, especially as Otto and Robert grew older. Robert was positioned at the upstairs window of Otto's home, named the Artist House, where he lived as an adult. Children started to avoid walking by the property, as they would swear blind that the doll would show up and then disappear in the windows, and they would get an uneasy feeling about the place. Following Otto's death in 1974, Myrtle Reuter bought the property and took over as Robert's new caretaker, and it got scary pretty fast. Visitors claimed to hear laughter and footsteps that sounded like a child in the attic. Some stated that if Otto was mocked in Robert's presence, Robert's face would seem to physically change. After 20 years of mischief, Reuter donated him to the Fort East Martello Museum in 1994. But far from consigning Robert to obscurity, the doll's appearance at the exhibition signalled a turning point. Visitors have gone to the museum in droves ever since Robert arrived. He has made TV appearances, had his aura captured on camera, is a stop on a ghost tour, as well as being the inspiration for the franchise Child's Play. He even has social media accounts and a Wikipedia entry. Not surprisingly, there are Robert replicas, books, coasters and t-shirts available for purchase by visitors, and those more daring can be locked in with Robert for the night. Do you feel that you'd be brave enough to hang out with him overnight though? Now, on the surface, Robert looks innocent enough, dressed in his sailor suit, but his face is barely recognisable as human. The design and age have not been kind to Robert, with his scar-like brown nicks on his face and a nub of a nose with pinholes for nostrils. Something that his black beady eyes and sinister smirk also add to the overall creepy vibe that he gives off. The museum continues to receive frequent accounts of misfortunes connected to the doll, and he will receive 1 to 3 letters every day from people. Some are from fans who are fascinated by him, but others are letters of apology by people who visited the museum and openly mocked him to his face. You see, it's believed that Robert curses those that do this, and they will suffer things like divorce, broken bones, accidents, and losing jobs shortly thereafter. When the curse of Robert is felt and their life is turned on its head, all they feel that they can do is beg for his forgiveness and hope that their luck will change. Additionally, Robert gets emails and tributes. Once it was known that Robert loved sweets, people started leaving him candy. He once got a box with a card, 8 bags of peppermints, but no return address. As well as the candy, visitors have given him cash and even marijuana. What do you think though? Do you believe Robert the doll is haunted by a spirit? I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this and whether you have been lucky enough to visit with this mischievous toy. There is a lot of overwhelming evidence to suggest that something strange is happening around the doll, but whether it is down to possession or people observing their life differently for a time after visiting the doll remains unknown. It certainly makes you want to be extra cautious when seeing him though.